it's a mix of a lot of negative emotions, and that all collides for people to hate who's winning. So
Right. Like, do you
it's really
think
just
a lot of
water under the bridge, I think.
yeah, because like obviously I'm pretty active online and I do see the hate. I see the hate a lot, and do you guys just like brush it off, right? Like it is what it
It's
is.
honestly kind of funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Like it's got to be
One again.
mostly
Like,
because you're winning.
What are you gonna say?
Like
How you gonna?
no one said anything to you guys before you started winning. So like in my head, I'm like, that's how you got to think it. Like who cares? You know, you're only saying this because we're successful, and it is what it is. You know.
Well,
I mean, even if it wasn't just that, it works. Like it's the same thing. You just gotta have a positive mental attitude and not care too much about what people think. That's something a lot of people struggle with. I do sometimes too, but I think in the world of Pokemon, as far as this is concerned, at least I've got a good head on my shoulders.
What up, guys? Welcome to the #1 Pokemon podcast in the world, Faded Town. Today's guest is a 3-time regional champion, the OG of Team DDG, Caleb Gedemer.
welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
What's up, man? How's your day going?
Just been chilling out, edited videos, watched some YouTube videos, ate some oatmeal. Here we are.
all that morning stuff.
We're
Yeah, you guys been killing it on the YouTube thing right now, right?
Nice, dude. Yeah.
It's what, you and Dan?
Yeah, it's just me and Dan. All the other guys didn't want to do it anymore, so
They're like,
we're calling it No Leaks now. I'm not a huge fan of the name, but other people like it, so we'll keep it.
That's a thing right now. No leaks, but
yes,
you got to jump on those opportunities. Take
yes, for
take
sure.
the
It's
name and
catchy.
go.
It's catchy.
Yeah,
no,
a little bit.
no leaks. That's the name of a ship. No leaks.
Okay, sure.
Oh my god. So where you at right now? Where you from?
I'm in my bent. In my duplex.
Okay.
I've got a whole room to myself downstairs.
Bitchin', okay.
Just moved here a couple months ago. It's pretty sweet.
Alright.
Just me and my girlfriend.
Nice.
Very nice place.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah.
Where do you live exactly?
I'm in Wisconsin, so Madison was my home regionals last week, so pretty cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm bummed we couldn't fucking make it, dude. I heard it was pretty lit. Did you go out and party with everyone?
No, I'm not super into that sort of stuff, but
He's like, nah.
Fuck that. I'm too cool for that.
Like I'm winning regionals, boy. I'm for
Priorities, Caleb. Priorities. You got them. You got them. Yeah, money. Yes, I love it.
Okay.
Oh shit.
So other than Pokemon, like, do you do coaching and stuff?
So I coached until I won a regionals, and I was like, I don't really need to do this anymore. I write a lot for Poke Beach. I'm sure you guys see a steady stream of articles there, and so doing pretty decent financially that way. So I do like coaching a little bit, but it was hard to fit in. I do still go to school. I go to the University of Wisconsin at Oshkosh. Go to school a couple times a week. Haven't been taking too many credits. This past semester I finished off an associate's degree, so don't really know what I'll do from now on. Just kind of want something else to do outside of Pokemon. It's kind of nice to have, like something else to work towards. Gives you a bit of a purpose other than just sitting around all day hanging out with friends and stuff, playing video games. But so I'll probably pick something to work towards, a bachelor's, and keep doing a couple credits a semester. Just having the time of my life.
That's good. How old are you?
Just turned 21 in April,
okay,
so
all right.
Super young.
pretty new to the.
That's awesome, though.
Welcome to the club. Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Be 25 soon and hate yourself.
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez.
That's just playing. But like, actually, you're just you do student and then whatever you get from Pokemon.
Yep.
That's what's up.
So
that seems like a theme between most of the top players.
Yeah.
I was like, we're just coaching. I'm like, really? Coaching's that big? I'm like, all right, I guess.
Yeah,
hey, all power to you guys. Killed it.
Sure.
Well, hopefully you'll continue this need or this lack of need for coaching. You know, because
Yeah, if I start doing poorly, maybe we'll need to get back into it.
But right now we're taking all the regional money and we're good.
Yeah.
How's that feel? Like, you know, before this year, did you get a regional win? No, this year, and then you just bust out 3. Like that's gotta be insane, right?
Yeah. So up until this point, I've always kind of had this like top 8 curse sort of thing. And last year, if you look at my stuff, I had a bunch of losses in top 8. Year before, I think I made it to top 4 once, but like always losing in top 8. And went over to Philly. I went through day 1 at 8:01. I just felt top of the world, like I could not lose the event if I wanted to. And I even conceded my last round of day 2 to get a better spot in the top 8. I was that far ahead in match points. So I felt like that was my tournament to lose. I was playing the best deck and playing decent. So kind of cruised through top 8, top 4, and made it to the finals. So I've been in the finals of a regionals once before that. It was all the way back in 2015 before the Cash Era prizes got introduced. So it'd been a little while, but capitalized on the moment. Really just had a solid season from there. Ran into a bit of a drought between what would have it been, November, kind of right after Brazil, and then broke out in Dallas again, made the finals. Like bummed not to get another win. I guess that sounds a little greedy, but
no, dude,
it would have been cool to continue the DDG win. That was the first time of the season that it ended. So I both began it and ended it. So I guess I went out on my own terms, but hit in a bit of another drought again. Went over to Denver, played another Zoroark deck, and felt really confident with that. Blitzed through it, didn't lose a game. I was undefeated at the end of it, so I felt like that was my tournament to lose again. Was super confident the whole time, and I would say after that tournament, I just felt like I had a new sense of direction with Pokemon. It's just like it was all clicking, and then I was on the top of the world going into Daytona 2 weeks later, and was just able to win again. So I don't know. It's once you get your first taste of a win, I feel like it's easier to start chaining more wins from there. It's just you build your confidence up and just have because I think that's just a really big part of Pokemon. You got to be confident because decks are so similar these days, and everyone has access to the same information. So you might be a bit of a better player, but luck balances that out, and then the other part is just confidence. So I really got a taste of that. And
got the
like,
formula.
Obviously, like DGG's been killing it. Is that? I think that's. Is it like? Did you guys test with each other before this year? Or is this like a group that's been together a long time?
The core was Jimmy, and I was with them for a little bit, and then I left after Worlds to do my own thing and I got my regionals win. I was like, yeah, I think I want to get back together, and then we branched. I was testing a little bit with Danny and Isaiah at the time, and then we got our big master with Pram, not DDG, ZRG, but DG plus friends, I guess, and we all joined together, and I feel like it's just a juggernaut of a group. It's like the best people in the world, and we keep each other on our toes. Don't play as much as some people might think, but a lot of it is just like, you get that muscle memory from playing so much, and the play kind of takes care of itself, and a lot of it's just deck choices. You've seen us choose some wacky decks this year, a lot of control decks that weren't expected, the Shedinja nonsense.
Oh my god, that's fucking nonsense. That's nonsense. Funny. Oh my god, I loved it though. That's great.
So just kind of been on top of it, and I feel like we can keep doing this for a while, and we'll see if the
group stays together. Do you think that's like a big key of your success, is that you have this group of people where you can bounce these ideas off, and it's like, and then you all decide like, okay, we're gonna play this one deck, and like you just do it, and you're successful.
Yeah. We've all grown pretty tight, been staying at every event pretty much together, and so what started as, loose linking of acquaintance, friendships, whatever. Now we're pretty close, and I feel like we'll stick together for a while and keep killing it, hopefully.
That's
So
good.
That's what's
That's
up.
good. That's good.
Yeah, because like back before the season started, and was it Danny? He tweeted out that tweet that was just like, "Yo, we're the best, and we're gonna do this, this, and this."
yeah,
And like,
and
if you look at your team, like at that point, there wasn't much like regional wins go. You look
Sure,
at it and
yeah.
you're like, no, like, was there just something? Was he seeing you guys work together and go like, you know what? Actually, I think these guys are the best. You know, they
Yeah,
are
so
gonna
I
kill it.
think the timestamp, but I feel like that was slightly after we had established like the new team with the new additions. Jimmy, Danny, came on, and Zach came on for a time, and yeah, I think he was just more confident than ever with the new group of players that were added, and yeah, so
Yeah.
that's where that
like
came
that's
from.
what I'm like, because
It's
that got a lot of traction. It got a lot of traction, and it got a lot of hate. A lot of people are like, "Oh, sure, dude. Like, never even heard of you guys." Like, I see
Yeah,
your players are good, yeah, but like they don't win, and it's like you even had like Limitless, like sure, like you guys definitely aren't winning worlds, like, and then regional, and then it just got to the point where people are like, I don't even like these guys. Like, I want to watch them lose.
Those fucking haters.
I'm tired of
Some
watching
haters.
them win.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, if you've ever been to a sports bar or something lately with the war games on, those people go crazy just to see them lose. And I know you guys are from Cali. I don't know if you're rooting them on, but
Well, we're actually in Vegas.
Perfect. But,
Close enough.
you're
close
near
enough.
Cali,
Yeah, close
but-
yeah,
enough.
it's close, pretty much.
do you guys like the Warriors?
Hell no.
I'm a
Hell
fan.
no.
He's a Lakers
I'm a
fan.
Lakers fan.
All right, so there we go. Yeah, okay. So I think once you get to the top, it's a mix of a lot of negative emotions, and that all collides for people to hate who's winning. So
Right? Like, do you
it's really
think
just
a lot of
water under the bridge, I think.
yeah, because like obviously I'm pretty active online, and I do see the hate. I see the hate a lot, and do you guys just like brush that off, right? Like it is what it is.
It's honestly kind of funny.
Yeah,
Right?
right. Like it's got to be
Won again.
mostly
like,
'cause you're winning.
what are you gonna say?
Like,
How you gonna?
no one said anything to you guys before you started winning. So like in my head, I'm like, that's how you got to think it. Like, who cares? You know,
Yeah.
you're only saying this because we're successful, and it is what it is. You know.
Well,
I mean, even if it wasn't just that, it works. Like it's the
Yeah.
same thing. You just gotta
Yeah.
have a positive mental attitude and not care too much about what people think. That's something a lot of people struggle with. I do sometimes too, but I think in the world of Pokemon, as far as this is concerned, at least I've got a good head on my shoulders. Never really.
yeah. Well,
bothers
if
me or anything.
anybody's ever played you, they know you're fucking, outstanding guy. Like the one time I played against you, do you remember that at all? Yeah.
Yeah, I hooked you up.
Hook me up with the
And
Landorus.
he got a game loss for a Landorus. That was some
Oh my
BS, and
God.
then I gave him my
Yeah,
own. So
respect. See, I mean,
Right. But like that's what, because like obviously we're kind of new in the community. Like we're friends with like everyone. So like when we hear things, obviously you hear things from people, and I'm like at the end of the day, like I've never been wronged by anyone. You know,
Sure.
until that happens, like we're super neutral, and like people, it's like a sides thing, and we don't fuck around with that.
We don't pick
you know?
sides.
yeah.
We don't pick sides. Like these people, everyone's dope. You know.
Yeah. It's changed around so much. I think picking sides is a really toxic part of
I agree.
Pokemon. One of the only negative things. And it kind of sucks.
No, but I like your analogy about
can't control
yeah.
people.
But I like your
so-
analogy about the Golden State Warriors fucking being at the top, and then everybody wants to
Exactly.
see you fall. But
Yeah.
it's,
I remember watching the Warriors when I was 10 and 12. They had just drafted Steph, and it was like, oh, maybe they got a good team here. And they didn't pop off until later on, but they were an underdog once, and you just say people because they're at the top. It's nothing more
This is
than
true.
Yeah, I
This is
agree.
true. Yeah. Hey,
I
but
agree.
more power
That's
to
dope.
you, dude. I mean, I wish you all the success in the world. I'm looking forward to
Right.
seeing you compete in Worlds. Speaking of which, what's your standing right now?
I am Second in North America, third in the world. I guess that's bragging, right? But I've got a funny story. Yes, Friday I got asked to throw a first pitch at one of the minor league teams over
Seriously?
here for their Pokemon night. Yeah, so
dude,
I got my name announced and everything is pretty cool.
That's fucking bitchin', dude. Hell yeah, right? That's fucking awesome. How was your
Pokemon night?
Did anybody film it? Can we go watch it?
I'm not sure if I want to release it, but no. I pitched in high school. Okay. So it was kind of a merging of two things. I actually quit baseball to focus on Pokemon entirely.
Oh damn.
So it's kind of a cool moment for that reason. It was a ball.
All right. But you got it. You know, like, have you seen that video? That lady she throws a pitch and she hits the fucking camera guy.
The guy. Yeah. I went up there. I was like, all right. I was a little anxious. You know, it's like kind of daunting. Even there's like 4,000 people watching. I was like, oh, I don't want to screw this up that bad. So I pulled out my phone. I was like, oh geez, she just hits the guy in the head. I won't do that. And I didn't. So
50 Cent threw the ball like into the ground in the dugout. It was so bad. I'm like, can't watch that.
Well, at least you got it to the catcher. That's all that matters.
How does that even happen? Like, how do they know who set that up?
Obama had a really good one a couple of years ago too.
You said Obama did?
Yeah, that was that too.
Oh my god. No, but
I think the best one though is that lady just hit decking the
guy with the fucking camera. That shit was the best.
Like right there.
No, but like Zach said, how do you get that set up? Like how they just find you?
Who knew you?
So I have a local store that I have a relationship with the owner, and I've known him since I was little playing, and he hit me up and asked if I wanted to be a part of it. He was there with his Pikachu. I think someone was under there. I don't know who.
Okay.
And he was handing out league flyers and stuff. So
that's dope, actually.
The team hit me up and.
So your store like actually cares about the community. That's nice.
Yeah, that's my local store. My full loyalty is Dead Draw, but this is something else.
That's
in the air.
They even have there's a Pokemon night at your fucking at your.
It was cool. They got some other flavors of the month too. They had a Star Wars night, some other stuff. So
that's cool.
bitchin'.
Cool. I haven't been over there for a while. I went to a game when I was little, but might have to go to.
Yeah, right now that you're an honorary first pitch thrower.
Pitch thrower.
Yeah, that's bitchin'. Hell yeah.
Right. So when we because you're obviously locked in for Worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
When you look into the Worlds format, what do you see? Do you see it as a more even playing field for everyone, or is the best deck builder just gonna dominate, or is it just like I'm better than you, so I'm gonna win?
I haven't any of the concepts. I maybe have some rough ideas in my head, but I feel like the rotation is cool in my opinion. I think it'll, it's a wishful thinking thing. Maybe Pokemon's like, all right, we don't want to see anyone losing a let loose at Worlds.
That's what it looked like.
Stated earlier, but it'll definitely be a more even playing field. But I think when you get these new formats, that oftentimes you see the best players come to something quicker, come to a conclusion quicker. So maybe
right, because you had a lot of success in Philadelphia, and that was kind of the same idea, like new format, and you came in, you had the best deck, and you run. So it's I feel like
it'll be fun to start trying. It's coming up real quick. Yeah. Right after NIC, I'm gonna start
just going at it.
Yeah.
Dude, what are you gonna do? You're losing your boy Zoroark. What are you gonna do?
It's got Charizard now, dude.
Charizard, the Zard. I mean, that's.
How do you feel about that deck?
I think you lose Kiawe.
Yeah, loses Kiawe. Loses Kiawe.
Yeah.
Big good. So I liked playing it. It was kind of fun, but it was my girlfriend came along and she's like, "Why are you finished so fast?" Because normally I am playing a control deck or something. It's taking forever. And I was like, "Geez, this it would be 20 minutes." I was like, "Whoa, this is kind of cool."
It's a kind of
Just standing around for 30 minutes. It was a nice change of pace. I feel like I needed
even
it.
that's
So
the kind of shit.
crazy.
That's the kind of shit you don't want to hear from your girlfriend. Why are you doing so fast?
I did win.
I won, but like.
Oh shit.
So it was a nice change of pace. I think Kiawe was pretty good in the deck, so it's probably not that good with Worlds. No more Kiawe.
You hating on the greens build or what?
I despise that. I think it's
dude, I love it.
Oh, that's a fucking perfect. That's perfect. Oh my
That's
god.
hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it. I got a lot of opinions.
Kiawe's too good.
That's not good.
Kiawe, he's not wrong, dude. Four energies,
I
one
did
turn.
when I first started playing. I was like, Kiawe's kind of sometimes just wins. You just win. Oh, Kiawe, I won. I was like, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's lighten it up a little bit. I wanted to bring up something that I personally am looking forward to. So Pokemon has had their recent direct on the 5th, I want to say. So they announced the release of Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out November 15th. What's your I know you don't play VGC, but what's your thought on that?
Yeah, so I tried Let's Go when it came out a little bit. I have not. I honestly think I touched it once. I played it for 10 minutes. I could look at my Switch. I think it says how long you played it, but I think I got my first Pokemon. I was like, "Geez, this is lame." Like the originals, you gotta try a little bit, but it's like, "Geez, you could solo this game without Pidgey. What the heck?"
Right?
And it's like, so right. It's. Couldn't make it through that. Haven't played a handheld Pokemon game in a long time, so I'm pretty excited to try this out on the big screen. It should be super cool. I'm gonna get both of them. I liked that new Pokemon, the Wooloo. The Wooloo.
Wooloo's getting hype. Wooloo's getting hype.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think it was super. One of the other cool things about the baseball game, when the batters came up, like you're at I'm sure you guys have been to a game before. They got their player profile. They had the Pokemon on their shoulder and stuff.
Oh, really?
And one of them was Wooloo, and I was like, oh yeah,
that's so dumb.
Wooloo was on the guy. So I'm super hyped on Wooloo, man. That thing's so cool.
It's gonna evolve into something stupid.
Come on. You're just gonna keep it Wooloo.
That's how they ruined everything. Like when Fennekin came out, we're like, oh, Fennekin's dope, and then what just happened? What happened to that Pokemon? Why did you?
Delphox. I got a wand.
Hey, what just happened? My cool Pokemon.
All right, so what starter would you choose?
I liked the Grookey.
Yes,
it's been a while since I thought about the starters, but yes, the green monkey. He's pretty.
I'm with it.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Oh shit.
I think most people are between him and Sobble.
Yeah.
The blue.
Nobody likes Score Bunny. What the fuck?
I do. I like
Score Bunny.
Scoreboard is dope. It's by far.
Definitely he's gonna be the next Fennekin, man.
No, do not put that. Do not put that. You bought him. Do not do that. No, Sobble's a crying little lizard, and then you got a parrot monkey with a stick. Come on,
dude.
This is a fast rabbit, fire rabbit. That's probably gonna be fighting, which I'm okay with. All right, it's gonna be dope.
Dude, I'm with Caleb. I like it. It's gonna be another fucking Delphox. Oh my god, that's great.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
But I think I like Pokemon. Just keep going. Just never stop.
Yeah.
I'm down with a million Pokemon. Dude, I don't care.
Yeah,
all these people.
I think it'll always sell.
No.
So with the game coming out,
Wonders.
right? Yeah. But with the game coming out, how the card game adapts to those releases. So we're eventually gonna see a Sword and Shield TCG set.
Yep.
How do you think that's gonna adapt to it? There's the
thing.
Yeah, there's the Dynamaxing. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they'll stop GXs and start doing that sort of a thing. I don't know.
Right, like a Pokemon Max or Pokemon Dyna, some shit like that.
They usually with the new set blocks, Sun and Moon, Black and White, so on. They always switch it up. Like they change the ending.
Right.
I think it'll be
EX,
GX,
right? Dynamax.
DX.
Yeah.
Takes up
no,
DX.
I'm predicting I'm predicting like
There,
breaks
yeah, like,
that only last for like 3 turns. Like you
That'd be
break your
cool.
Pokemon, lasts 3 turns and it's done.
that'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
If it
like
survives.
a better mega mechanic, because the mega thing was lame. They
Super
kind
lame.
of screwed it
With
up.
the Spirit Link. Oh my god.
Well, when it first
Yeah.
started, there was no Spirit Link.
Oh yeah,
you just lost a turn.
Right.
You're like,
Lost a
I
turn.
can't even
Like,
play this.
alright,
Like,
don't
I can't give him a
Lysander
turn.
this, right?
Oh shit.
It's so
Yeah,
bad.
so hopefully they do something cool like
Right.
that. That'd
I
be
agree.
sweet.
No.
I think they're better now. I really do think the Pokemon charge or whatever is actually like looking more into the community.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
Yeah, I
I
really
think they
like.
just hired like someone that's supposed to do that.
Yeah, his name's Jesse. He's the new painter.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
he's said a couple new things about some changes. So
Oh,
hopefully, things go.
yeah. Hopefully, I
go well
agree. Like, who knows?
Either
They
way,
might just.
I'm excited for it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm buying
The
both.
new
I'm
set
buying
blocks
both
are always
too.
super cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Either yeah, like I said.
It'll be nice to know what the Pokemon are before they come out on the cards for once, because I'm gonna play the game and it's like, whoa, what's
See them on the cards, like,
Oh,
what
man,
is?
yeah, like, what
this-
is this trash?
thing?
It doesn't matter. No
Oh
items,
my
so who
God.
cares?
So
Yeah,
when
they
was
were-
the last time you actually played, other than Let's Go, when was the last time you actually played a handheld?
Yeah, it was all the way back in, jeez, when they remade Soul Silver, I bought Heart Gold. My little brother got Soul Silver.
Okay.
That's what they were called, right? Soul Silver.
Yeah.
Heart
Heart
Gold.
Gold, Soul Silver.
And
Yeah.
then I played through that, and that was it. I think X and Y came out a year or two later, and I'd never played that. Or wait, Black and
Yeah,
White.
Black
maybe?
and White.
I
Black
don't
and White
remember.
came out after that.
It's yeah, I definitely did not play that. It was
like-
Heart Gold was the last.
But you played
hurrah.
Diamond and Pearl, right?
I had Diamond.
Okay.
That was my first like new, like when the game came out, I bought it.
Okay.
I had been like too young for Leaf Green and Fire Red, so I had them used, but like the Diamond thing was hype because I got to go pre-order it and pick it up. But yeah, I kind of quit playing video games because I wanted to get better at the card games. So
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
why
ask you that. I was like, how
I
did-
felt like it was a distraction, and now that I'm a little older, a little more mature than that, it's like that's not how
No.
it works. You need to find
like,
balance.
how did you get into the card game? Were you playing a different card game before?
Nope. When I was 6 or 7, my brother took home a book from the library, and there was a Unknown in it, like a super old one. I was like,
Okay.
it's kind of cool. And then we got like a theme deck shortly after, because I don't even think I knew Pokemon cards existed at that point.
Yeah.
And then we got some theme decks and went to rummage sales. I was one of those kids that grew up without internet for like most of my childhood until I was like 13, because we wanted to save money. Oh my gosh, Dad.
That was me.
You gotta say the
That
money,
was
no
me. That was
internet.
me too. That was me too.
He knows how I felt about that. Is like the sheltered your whole life thing. And
No Xbox
until
Live, boy.
basically until I got internet, I feel like I never had a fair shake at like ever improving, because my local community was not the greatest with Pokemon. So I discovered League like 4 years into it. You know, I was like playing around with my friends at school. We didn't know what was going on. I was like, what? A League? I don't even know that existed. So from there, yeah, it snowballed. I actually, for anyone that's been playing a long time that's watching this, original gym challenge tournaments all the way back in 2006. That was my very first tournament, and I rolled up with like an unlimited deck with like Dark Charizard
Oh
or
my
something.
god.
But I had no idea it was like 5 years probably. Like it was, I was living in the dark.
That
But
shit's
I started when I was
hilarious.
6, and then when I was like 12, I started to, kind of know what was going on. My parents were always pretty frugal about taking me to events too, because didn't have a car, and with no one locally to take me anywhere, it was, stuck around once in a while, I'd go to a tournament or two. But finally started getting competitive when I was 14. Would have been my last year that I was able to play in seniors. I was able to qualify for the first time. Yeah, then my dad was like, "All right, you're done. No more after this year." And I was like, come on. And then I remember my Christmas present was to like X a number of city championships or
Oh,
something.
bitchin'.
And then I ended up winning 4 of them, and you could only win. And then I was back on track, and I was able to scrounge together enough tournaments. Then I got my license, and then we were all good.
Yeah, then it's like, all right, Dad,
I'm going to everything.
I'm doing this.
Yes.
Like 16, I got my car, I'm out. That's dope.
No, that's a awesome fucking entry story to learning how to play. You know, you're I don't want to say crippled, but you're less informed of the community, and I completely understand that, dude. Like the first one that I ever went to, like it was a gym challenge at a Toys R Us, and I went to that shit. That's like because I started when base set was around, but then I completely fell off the map, didn't even play, and then randomly I just got into the trading card game. But you know, that's awesome to hear that you've just overcome that, and now you're kind of at the point where you're at. You're like almost, essentially you're stardom, dude. You were asked to throw a first pitch at a baseball game. Like, come on, dude. That's Pokemon stardom.
Small-time celebrity.
That's Pokemon stardom. Respect. You got my respect.
Like, your build-up is great because you're like, you started out super young and now look where you're at. Like, that's what's up. That's what's up.
A really cool journey.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I look at it, I'm like, I started like 3 years ago, maybe. And I'm like, I should be winning. Caleb's like, dude, I was 6, right?
6.
You need to put in some fucking work here.
15 years,
kid.
Boy.
Yeah, you can't just come in here and think you're all right.
Oh my god. I'm gonna learn you some Pokemon.
That's hilarious.
Oh shit.
I was like, is it like there's not? I guess there is. There's a lot of people that have played a long time, but since they're 6, that's a lot. Like you ever get that time where you're just like, I'm done. I don't want to do this.
Everyone goes through their middle school year, right? Where you're like, I don't want to be a part of my old self anymore. And I denounced Pokemon. And, oh, man, that was one of my biggest fears, dude. 6, like, elementary school, Pokemon was, like, still presentable, I guess. But then once you got to middle school, it was like, oh, God, no one can know.
No.
And if you just search my name on Google, like there it was, like city championship. It finally.
No one could know.
I was able to I don't think. I think a couple people might have said like, "Don't you play Pokemon?" And I was like, "No, what? No." But it was between my 7th and 8th grade year. I quit. I kept one deck. It was a Reshifusion deck or something, and I still went to like a city championship in the where I was living. Right, this is right down the road, and I won. It was like, okay, so kind of there, and I just kind of was waiting to like be more confident in myself because middle school are some dark years. Like,
yeah, dude, everybody's
trying to be someone else. And
everybody's judging you.
Yeah, it's like the first time you're exposed to that, and once I got to high school, I was back on my feet with that, and so it was my 9th grade year when I finally took off in the last year that I was in seniors and made it to Worlds, and then every year since in Masters. So
yeah,
killing it. Hell yeah!
I'm looking at your limit list, and it just looks like you're just getting better. You just every year it's like, that's a pretty good year. Oh, that was a decent year, and then this year is like, I'm at the top right now. I'm killing it, and with the group of people, I think you're fine. I think you guys put a good team together, and you guys come up with great ideas, and you execute. That's the key. You execute, where everyone knows. Everyone knows. Like, all right, you go to a tournament. It's like, all right, round 1 happens. All right, what's DGG plan? We need something. I need to know. Like, I remember my boy Josh, he had to play
Danny. He had to play Danny, yeah.
Danny, and you guys were playing the stupid friggin'
the nonsense
Shedinja thing. And he's like, dude, how do I beat that? I'm like, how many Guzmas, how many field blowers you got? Like, what do you got? And he's like, I got one. I'm like, man, you can't win. He's like, well, I'm just gonna draw pass. I'm like, well, that's another option. Good luck. And he ended up tying. But I'm like, that's
Sure, yeah.
I'll pass and
Oh.
pray that you tie, which is like bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you guys had that happen to you guys.
Yeah, I had it happen to me 4 times.
4 times? Just draw pass?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to that extent, but it was like 4 50-minute game 1 incomplete ties where I had the lock, so I'm a little salty about that. But it's over. Never ever again. I am fairly confident I will never. And if I do, I'm gonna play something that mills your deck really quick.
Yeah.
So
Win condition. Win condition.
Yeah,
You need one. You need one.
Well, what Jesse James coming out, I think, right?
yes,
Yeah.
that does something with
that's
this
what we could
sparring.
see
So
come
there
back.
we go.
Wait, what is it?
Yeah,
What does
that
it do, Zach?
Each
I don't-
player discards 2 from their hand,
Yeah,
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So,
So
that
like,
certainly
then there's
speed
like-
things up.
yeah, there's like a wheezing, like card that if you discard it with Jesse James, your opponent has to discard another card.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So it's like you can make them discard 4 cards
Yeah.
if you discard 2 wheezings.
Right.
It's like
Yeah, that's gotta go right into the shit ninja
Right,
deck for
definitely.
sure.
sounds like it
Get
would-
rid of those Trum beaks, man. Holy.
I remember, I think someone posted it and like someone dead ass was like, "Hey, did you ever evolve the
Yeah.
Ditto into
I-
the Trumpy?"
I didn't actually ever think of that, and then I saw that and I was like, oh, but it only does like 20 or something.
20 damage. 20 damage.
Yeah.
I peck you to death.
Yeah.
Danny and I played round 6, the mirror match, and
God.
it was like just the crappy Pokemon, like Persian does 60 or something like that if you flip a heads, and I beat him.
You gotta go straight to Ranguru, right? You just confused.
That you do that, and you can attack with the Persian. He's a little more energy efficient.
Oh,
He takes 2.
not 3. Oh my god, that shit's.
Yeah, I was at the tournament. I'm like, they're gonna have the mirror match. Like, I don't
At
never
some
want to do
point,
that.
yeah. I also played a Weezing that tried to like draw it out to a tie, and I like took 6 prizes by
Oh my
with
god.
a Ranger.
Beat you up with my freaking Persian, dude. That's
Oh
hilarious.
my god, that's great. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's kind of move forward. Obviously you got day 2 at Worlds. We expect you'll do well. We actually just spoke to Jesper, and he's like, I think his luck's gonna fucking run out.
But that's a hate.
Yeah, that's just a hate. That's just that.
spreading.
Yeah, that's just that hate. But we here at Sacker Scoop think you're gonna do very well. We look forward to watching you.
Yeah.
But what?
I've actually never done well at Worlds, so this is
Dude,
the year.
it's your year.
Yeah,
this is your year.
It
Yeah.
is.
No,
It's-
the luck will run through. You're doing well. But what do you?
I think it's setting up for you, dude. I think, like, if I had to pick, I'd put you there because with the Philadelphia, and your mindset's there, and you're killing it this year. I think you're a front
It
runner,
all
to be
started
honest.
with the Landorus. Don't ever forget. All right, it started because of your good nature. Giving me the Landorus, yeah. So what's your outlook for next season? Do you plan on obviously continuing the hot run, or do you have other plans? Like you said, you're going to school. Anything else that you're going to take more obligation?
Yeah, so I am gonna still probably go to school a little bit next year. Like I said, I've been taking anywhere from so when I first started school, I took 18 credits the first semester, and that was
A lot.
terrible. And I was still trying to do top 16 and stuff. And then I toned it back to, I think, all the way down to 6.
Okay.
And that felt like a good number, and I bounced anywhere from 2 to 6 from there. So like just 2 classes, and that's no sweat off my back. So I'll probably do the same thing, 12 to 6, somewhere in there. And the credits around here don't expire, so just
Nice.
keep swimming. And
Yeah.
I will be doing top 16 or whatever. Hopefully we get a read as to whatever it's going to be. Maybe they'll finally change it on us. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'd like to see something new,
Right.
but I plan to keep playing at the professional level, as they call it, for years to come.
Okay. Well, you're going to be traveling to all the regionals they post?
Yes, almost certainly. I don't think there would ever be a reason not to. I think as long as the cash is involved, it's a level-headed risk to still go to all of them.
Right.
You know, it is.
Yeah.
It's not gambling quite, but it's close, and I think that the risk is just right to continue doing it at the prize structure now. If it went down, then maybe we'd talk.
Right.
But I feel like I could only see it going up. Especially with
growing, right?
Yeah, especially with the right. I mean, attendance went down this year, but I think overall was it better? I don't know. They got rid of all those those 200 people regionals and stuff from last year. So
yeah,
we'll
I think they had. I think the numbers were like the attendance is down, but the number of new players is up.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Like
that makes sense.
So we have more new players, and like some people just stopped playing.
As long as we get the invite announcement a little sooner, I think that would boost the especially since it was a little higher than in the past. I think that might be why attendance was down. Some people didn't know what to expect, and maybe they went hard the first quarter, thought they could chill out, and they still didn't know where they were sitting, and cost them, give up on the invite, whatever. But we'll see.
I didn't go hard enough the first quarter. Yeah. I didn't do any League Cups. I was like, who knows?
He's just like, I don't give a shit. And then he started winning. And then he got top 4, and he's like, maybe I should go for Worlds.
Maybe I should do this. Then I've been trying to go hard, and like my locals are just so trash. Like they're doing a League Cup, like this quarter's League Cups are ridiculous. Like you don't have a lot of time, and like I'm the only person in Vegas that cares about points, and they're like, we're scheduling our League Cup on internets. I'm like,
nice,
thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're great.
I told him I was like, let me just sign up for you. I'll just play for you. He's like, I don't know. I think there's gonna be an issue with me playing at two tournaments at the same time.
You both get banned and then
hell no.
Who is this guy?
They're gonna know, man.
Just a joke, obviously, but maybe. No. I ain't getting banned for that shit. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyways.
But anyway, we'll wrap it up. We want to thank you again for being on the show. We really do appreciate it. But there is something that we do here every time on the Faded Town. So we are going to be doing this giveaway. We want you to pick your top 3 world contenders. Okay. And we're going to be giving away this awesome portrait. And as you know, Chumley is a part of our team. Okay. Yeah. So we have this amazing portrait of Chumley himself, and he will let me back up out of frame. There we go. And we are gonna be giving this away to the winner. So now you're gonna be based off of points, but it's gonna be lowest score wins. So say you pick somebody who wins the entire the entire Worlds tournament, that's gonna be 1 point, versus somebody who places 100, that's 100 points. Obviously, you want the 1 over the 100.
Right.
So that's how it's going to be set up. So we want you to pick your top 3 contenders, and so far we've got about 6 or 7 people that have been on the show. So you're in good company, and it's everyone we've interviewed has been very competitive. They've got good choices. Sure. So choose wisely.
Jesper might fight you. He might fight you if you win.
It will be signed by Chum himself.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. I'm gonna just keep it, and I'm gonna use the top 3 standings. So Danny Altavilla number 1, me number 2, and Jimmy for number 3.
Okay, there you go.
Straight DGG.
Straight DGG. Like, damn. Keep it in.
You can't like. It's not bad.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
No, that's true.
If you look at their tournament results this year, that top 8 all day. So
DDG's killing it, bro. Well, congratulations. Congratulations on your success again. We really want to thank you for being on the show. Are there any shout outs you want to do before we wrap it up?
Yeah, shout out to all my local friends in the dump. Shout out to Gang. Shout out to DDG. And shout out to my parents and
All right.
Shayna.
Respect, dude.
Awesome.
All right, well, thanks again for being on the show, but for now, we're going to scoop it up.